Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to talk about the Tower of Heaven, which is arguably the most important game mode in Fairy Tail Fierce Fight that you really want to push every single week. Now, the reason why it's very important is because the rewards for it are very good. You're able to get SSR shards, selective shards. It's depending on how many floors you clear. So by floor 5 you get 5 of them, floor 10 you get another 5, then floor 15 you get another 5, etc. So you can get up to 15 every single week, which is very nice if you want to build up your character to eventually dupe them out to 4-star and unlock their 4 skill. So that's very important, and I do recommend you try to push as far as possible, obviously. You also get some other really nice rewards like the summon tickets as well. Now the first 10 stages are pretty straightforward. I was able to beat them, I think, on day 3 or day 4 when I first unlocked this game mode last week. So that's quite easy. I'm going to try to push all the way up to floor 15 this week. And I think it should be doable as well, because right now I'm on 11 and I haven't even used my main characters yet, like Galadriel, Juvia, Wendy, for example. I haven't Nasu, I haven't used any of them. I probably need to try out one more character, probably Leon. But yeah, you can see it's definitely doable to do this on I think on day 7 now or day 6. So it's definitely still doable to do this fairly quickly, and this is definitely something you want to focus on. Now the main challenge or the main difficulty for this stage or for Tower Heaven is actually the fact that you need to use multiple characters, and the character that I have used previously, you are not able to use them again. Which on a first look sounds like, oh, does that mean I need 45 characters in order to actually clear all the way up to floor 15? Because for each stage you can deploy up to 3 characters, right? I have done some testing this week just to see what's the minimum requirement, and that's kind of the guide I'm trying to create today, which is that how to level up your characters efficiently in order to beat them. Because you can see for some early stages, level 1 is going to be enough, and for some stages, level 15 is going to be enough. And for all of the floors I've cleared so far, I did for the first 10 floors, I have only used 10 characters, so I have literally just been using 1 character per stage without relying on all 3 slots. So this way you don't need to try out multiple characters all at once as well. So all of those are going to be the tips I'm going to give you guys today. So you have a rough idea of the benchmark or the requirement you need, or how much resources you need in order to beat so far in Tower Heavens. Okay, now before getting into all of those, let me quickly talk about the different ways of how you can level up a character and what's the most efficient one. So the main thing to power up a character is kind of just in each of those tabs here in the character page. So there are 5 I've unlocked so far. The first one is going to be just the pure level, then the second one is going to be the skills, third one is the equipment, the fourth one is the magic stones, and then the fifth one is the magic gears. Now, out of all of them, deciding on which one to prioritize is going to be mainly based on how much resources it's going to cost, and also whether it's transferable between all of the different characters, etc. Now, out of the 5, there's only one which is transferable, so that to me is always going to be your first priority, and that's going to be your magic circle, because all of those stones. So this part of the resources required to level up is not going to be transferable because you do this per character. But the magic stones, you are free just to swap in and out between characters at no cost, which is very nice. Unlike the magic gear, which actually costs something to remove it. For the green ones, it costs just coins, but once you get higher rarity like the purple ones, it actually costs gems for you to remove it. So I don't recommend like rotating this amongst the character too often. But the magic stones, you are free to do this as much as you can, and it doesn't cost much to do this either, because I was using Soul, for example, and what you realize is that you are able to unlock the first 2 slots at level 2, so it doesn't cost very much to get this started, and as soon as you unlock this, you are then able to freely change to like one which you have already powered up. So what that basically means is that you want to pick 2 stones, so 1 for each of those slots, to level up to very high level. So I have it at level 12, for example, and then before you attempt a tower, you simply swap them onto the character you want to use for that stage, and that's a very easy way for you to get buff at pretty much like no cost. Because the only real cost you need to do is going to be the one to just level up to level 2, which is hardly anything. So that's the first thing you want to focus on when you level up a character. Then the next thing is going to be the stats itself, the actual level. This, even though it's not free, but the resources you get is just in abundance. I have like abundance of those experience books. I know it probably gets a lot harder as you level up to the later stages. So right now, level 35, I'm still okay. I can handle multiple characters, but maybe once you get to 45, 50 onwards, it may cost a lot more. So this is something I think you can definitely spend quite a bit early on, but maybe just still keep hold of something just in case endgame it really do goes up like exponentially how much extra you do need for a new level. So that's the second thing, which is to me very cost effective to level up a character. Then the third thing is going to be the gears. Now for gears, the first 5 levels is easy, but for every level which are every 5 levels, it's going to cost some extra stuff for you to uh, use to actually break them through, which you may not have much of them. The good thing is you do get them as you go through the different stages. However, the bad thing is you do need to spend stamina to farm them. So to me, once you move on to the gear territory, it's already starting to get a bit more expensive because, to be honest, there are not that many different ways for you to charge up stamina in this game, so you do really have to plan where to spend your stamina. So this, while is quite easy for you to do, like I am able to farm so many stages if I really want to level up my gears, but it does cost a bit, so that's something to bear in mind. But to me, this is kind of the middle ground, because anything higher than that, for example, the player skills, yes, it costs stamina as well to level up, but more importantly, this you can only get or farm through the Phantom Invasion, which you only have 2 chances per day. So unlike the gears, which if I really want to spend stamina, I can farm pretty much tons and upgrade a lot if I really want to. For the skills, I am actually going to be capped by how much I'm able to do on every single day. So this is why I would prefer if you do not dip into the skill section unless it's actually a character you do really want to use in the end game, for example. So that's kind of the main thing you want to look out for when you are leveling up a character, and kind of the most efficient way of doing so. Now, in terms of the tower itself, so I'm going to give you some benchmarks, so just so you kind of know a rough idea of what you need for each stage. But just bear in mind, it is going to differ depending on the character you use and its compatibility against the enemy you're facing, because sometimes certain characters just do really badly against certain enemies, etc. For example, like short range characters generally do really badly against a character with like long range control, because you try to hit them, but they will just control you to your position where you're not able to hit them, etc. So there are going to be something different every single time, depending on the lineup you use. But hopefully, the ones that I have used to clear it so far is going to give you a rough indication of how much resources you do need to spend to reach that state. Okay, so for the first 3 stages, it's very easy. You can just use a blanket copy of level 1 character, unlock their magic stones, and just put your 2 best 1 there, and you're set. You don't need to spend any additional investment onto them at all. So very easy for the first 3 floors. Then for 4 and 5, still very easy. I level up my character to level 15 to beat them. Obviously, once again, magic stones unlocked. But yeah, you don't need much cost all the way up to stage 5 right now, because the only thing you do is the experience book, which, like I said, you have an abundance of, especially in the early stages too. Level up to level 15, that's hardly any resources required. So that's what you need for stage 4 and 5. Then for stage 6 is where it gets harder, because what you see is that you're actually able to now deploy 3 characters. For the first 5 stages, you are limited to only deploy 1 character, but from stage 6 onwards, you can actually deploy 3 characters at once if you wish to. However, obviously, if you deploy too many characters, you may not get enough, because you will just run out of characters. Also, it does mean you need to train up multiple characters, which may not be the best idea either. I might test it next week again, just to test a few characters which I level up to high level without magic stone, without gears, without skills at all, to see how much help they would do. But right now for this week, I've been strictly testing just 1 character per floor, even though I can deploy 3. But anyway, so yeah, so for stage 6, I have used him, who's at level 24, but I believe I also have his gears at level 20 as well. But that's kind of what you would need in order to beat stage 6, and you only deploy one character even though you can deploy 3. Then for stage 7 onwards it gets a lot harder. I kind of got all my character to around level 30 already for stage 7 onwards, so that's kind of the minimum requirement. All of the gears I got them to 25 as well. So I think that's the level 25 for the gears is where you only use green material, because to actually go higher than 25 you should then use blue material, which is a lot harder to farm. So that's kind of why I decided to stop at those gears. And with that setup, so level 30 character, level 25 gears, I was then able to be stage 7 and 8 and 9 fairly easily. And then for stage 10, I don't have to actually use character with uh, level up in skills as well. So on top of being them at level 30 and then also 25 gears, I also need to, I think, unlock their skills to at least like 2 or 3, I believe. So that's kind of what I use to clear stage 10. Now I can already see for stage 11 onwards, it's been more of a power jump because it does need 105k, whereas I believe stage 10 only needs 60k power level. So there's quite a bit of a jump in terms of what needs to be done. However, for a fully built character at this stage, you can see like a single character of mine is already 180k, and I can probably make it better by swapping good magic stones, etc. So it's definitely still doable to clear all the way up to stage 15, I believe. I just haven't done it yet. I'm gonna wait towards the end of the week because I do feel like I need to try out one additional character, so I'm gonna do a bit more farming before I attempt that. But yeah, so this is roughly a good indication of what you need in order to clear the different stages for Tower Heavens.